Hello, all you hardcores. Big P here. You know the rest. We're joined by ELLIS today. Uh, so it should be interesting. He's a good part at commission. He knows his stuff. So let me just give him a quick text. Yeah. Come on, Ellis. Where are you, lad? Oh, it is what it is, isn't it? Today's the weigh-in for Crusher Ben and Eubank. Oh, here we go. Here's Ellis. Women loving men want to be him. How you doing, lad?
Morning, Russ. Can you hear me, bud?
Yeah, I can hear you, mate. You all right?
Yeah, good yourself, mate.
Yeah, you're a bit. Can you come closer to the mic?
Is that a bit better?
No, and it's still the same, kid.
2 secs. See if I can get a bit of a better connection.
Yeah, that's a bit better. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I've got it on full on mine here. So,
Yeah.
how are you doing?
I'm good, thanks, mate. I'm good. It's a bit of boxing this weekend. Got the day off work today, so I thought I enjoyed last chat we had, so come on and chat some boxing, mate.
Yeah, what did you think to the press conference yesterday, Ellis?
Yeah, I didn't watch it yesterday. Caught up on it this morning. It was I think it was everything you'd expect, really, weren't it? It was a couple of twists and turns talking about that. Billy Joe Saunders being the glove inspector and all that stuff. It's nothing less than what you'd expect, really, and it's just keeping the circus going and keeping the public engaged, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who do you think wins?
So I think Eubank wins, mate. They say you're as good as your last fight, don't they? I watched both their last fights back the other day, and I was watching what Chris Eubank did in his last one. He was quite methodical. He was boxing behind his jab. He weren't really getting caught much apart from a few times when he was going back in straight lines. But he was thinking about his work and he sort of put on a bit of a clinic. Whereas with Conor Ben, to me, mate, he's got a bit of a flat track bully kind of style. He's like he's trying to be an imitation of his dad, or maybe like a Mike Tyson sort of squatting down, bobbing and weaving style. And I just feel like that style always comes unstuck with a stiff jab down the pipe on the end of your nose. And I think that's what what Chris is going to do. And I think he's just going to sort of old man him, really. Be too strong for him in the clinch. And I can see Eubank. I'm talking myself into a stoppage here. I think he'll stop Conor Ben. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he'll stop him. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna see, aren't we? We're gonna see. Got a few bullet points to bowl through. They're all mumbled up, so we'll just bowl through and do our best, yeah. Over
Yeah.
a two-parter, yeah.
For sure, mate. For sure.
Here we go. Has Bamba Gascoigne had a bath, do you know?
uh, unlikely, but I don't know. Can't comment.
If anybody knows if Bamba Gascoigne's had a bath or a shave, let me know. Answers on a postcard, pokecorner@mail.com. Not if you're a troll though, because we don't deal with trolls now. All this troll gate, nah, I'm not feeling it for them. They can't even click on links when I send them. None of them even know how to work a computer in the bed sits. So it is what it is. So Trollgate is over, and that's it. New tech guy on board. He can deal with your emails now and comments. Right. Big shout out Peter De Freitas, battling cancer. Hope you well. Peter De Freitas was Nigel Benn's manager for years. Never took a penny under the table. Never got an invite to his wedding. What do you make of that?
That's not very friendly, is it? I mean, was Ambrose Mendy at the wedding? Was he? Or
I don't know if he was,
um,
but the fact if he fell out with him as well, didn't he? But he's light fingered, isn't he, Ambrose?
mm, mm. Yeah, I mean, it just shows how the boxing game works, really, isn't it? There's no
Ambrose,
friends
have
in
you paid
boxing.
Big Ron his 11 grand back yet? You know you aren't because you've not got a pot to piss in. Uh, Crusher Ben. We're in talks to do a reality Netflix program with all the Ben family. They're wheeling all the kids out and offspring and stepkids and all sorts all week, aren't they?
Mm.
Uh, do you think it'll happen? Do you think they'll pull it off? And if they do, is it rewarding drug cheats like Fury?
Uh, we've seen enough of these at home with the Furies and stuff like that, haven't we? I don't think Ben's the perfect case study for that. I don't think is negatively is seen in a negative light by the majority of the public, isn't he? So whether they're doing it as a ploy to sort of show him in a softer light, show his family side, and sort of rebuild his character that way, um, I don't know. I don't. It's not something I'd be tuning in for. That's for sure. But then again, I don't really watch TV. I don't watch any of that stuff. I only watch footy and boxing. That's about as far as it goes, mate.
I couldn't be stomaching that Netflix Fury one because once I heard that they had full editorial control over it, right?
Yeah.
They're just playing with people's minds and trying to sell us something that's not there. I mean, we've had Tommy Fury do an interview yesterday. He's now saying that he's been addicted to cocaine and he's suffering mental health. So have we got the repeat scenario like the Big Step Brother? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's common with quite a few boxers, isn't it? They go out on the lash, they have a few lines of sniff and whatnot, and then all of a sudden it's they were in deep depression, they were this, they were that, and they've come back from the depths of despair. And it's like, no, I'm not being funny, mate. You've done what a lot of people do on a weekend in general and crack on with the daily job the next the next week. It's all built up to be a sort of fictional story that they've come from the real depths and now they're on the comeback trail. And it's to engage viewers, isn't it, and get bums on seats. Really, I think that sort of stuff. But it's all poppycock, I believe, mate.
Do you think? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Well,
Well,
they're getting amazing fees, aren't they? I mean, Fury's got to be a multi-millionaire, Tommy Fury, that is.
yeah.
And it kind of goes to your head when you're a young man, doesn't it? He's got all the girls, got all the money. He's probably been on more nights out than you can shake a stick at, and he's probably gone a few heavy sessions. But so what? Like, do you know what I mean? We don't need to hear a rags to riches story about it. Just if you're going to be a boxer, be a boxer. But yeah, it's all about engaging viewers in it. That's all it is. Them sort of stories.
Well, the word doing the around the campfire is Tyson Fury's in talks to fight Otto Wallin in a rematch from that fight 6 years ago, and Joshua and Dylan White. So they're two gimme fights for Joshua and Fury. And but yet again, if that happens, they're going to be kept apart, aren't they? Right, and they're picking up crumbs and crusts while not fighting the fight that should be happening. But do you think it's overcooked now, Fury Joshua?
Oh yeah, massively over marinated. It doesn't have the intrigue anymore. I think I said in the last time we had a chat, it's like even if they were to fight and Fury was to knock out AJ, I wouldn't be surprised at all. And vice versa as well. If AJ knocked out Fury, it wouldn't be like the shock of the century. And the point is, mate, would anyone really care? No one from a hardcore sense would care, because it doesn't mean anything anymore. The belts aren't on the line. Um, it's about 5 years past its sell-by date. Yeah,
Yeah, well, we're gonna see what happens. But looking at Fury's record here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Hang on a minute. Tyson Fury, right? Do you remember when he fought Vladimir?
yeah,
Right, it's coming up to 10 years since he fought Vladimir, and it 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. He's had 12 fights in 10 years. He's hardly
yeah.
Mr. Active, is he?
No, definitely not. But then again, who is these days? Who is?
But when you look at his CV here, right, since Vladimir, Sefa Sarifi, Francisco Pianetta, Wilder, Tom Schwartz, Wallin, Wilder, White, Chisora, and Garner on his debut, and two losses to Usyk. It don't jump out at me like it should do for a man who's 37 in a few weeks. And we've got people saying that his CV is better than Lennox Lewis's. Now we've got 4 wins over champions against 14, so he's nowhere near Lennox, is he? He's about.
No.
He'd have to fight of quite a few champions in next 3 years. Well, for him to equal Lennox Lewis's record, he'd have to fight another 10 year and fight champions every year, wouldn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. No. He's it flatters to deceive, doesn't it? I mean, you could make the argument that okay, AJ's been bashed about recently, but his CV fighter for fighter is probably better than Fury's. I
Not
think. You
that
know.
much better. He's got 6 wins
No.
over champions, hasn't
Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of them were old and dishevelled, weren't they? But you know, the names. If we're talking for a name value, you got your Cephas Safiri or whatever, and then you've got AJ fighting your Povetkins. You know, where's the Povetkins on Fury's record? You know what I mean? It's not a great record, and he's living off the. To be fair, yeah, he did beat Wilder on his undefeated run, so fair play to him on that. And they
Well,
were
they're
in
past the
three.
peaks, aren't they, Ellis? I mean, we're looking at a
Yeah,
37-year-old and against a 36-year-old if they fight, and they're ready for knackers yard. You know, and even if they don't fight next, I mean, how much fucking longer are they going to prolong? If they don't fight next, that takes it into summer of 2026. That'd be like 15 years since they sparred, and they've been hyping it up, and it's just going on and on and on and on. I mean, are they just taking a piss on us all?
yeah, it's the payday that will never go away, will it? I mean, I think they could be wheeling him out at 45 years old and it'd still be there. And
Yeah,
Eddie Hearn would be still talking about 90,000 at Wembley, wouldn't he? But
yeah.
I don't know. It's well over marinated and it's a shame, really, because I do feel like prime for prime, when they were undefeated, they both had belts. It was an intriguing fight. Had a lot of intrigue, didn't it? But yeah, not anymore, unfortunately. They're done.
Yeah, well, let's have a look at Joshua's CV, shall we?
Hmm.
Dylan White, pony. Charlie Martin, pony.
Yeah.
Dominic Brazil, pony. Eric Molina, massive pony. Vladimir Klitschko in his 42nd year, 69th fight, coming off a loss to Fury 18-month on settee, pony. Carlos Takam, pony. Although Johnny Nelson said he were like Foreman and Holyfield roll into one. Joseph Parker, the Stinkinator. Povetkin, Old Man Pony. Ruiz, a fat man who knocked him out. And then even fatter man in rematch lost on a decision. Joshua ran for his life. Pulev, an old man pony. Lost to Usyk twice. Then he's fought Jermaine Franklin pony. Elenius pony. His sparring partner. Otto Wallin sparring partner pony. And Garno in his second fight. And then got iced by Dubois. How is that CV better than Fury's when Fury got to Wilder and Vladimir before him? Joshua's not fought Wilder or Fury. So I see where you're coming from. He's got more wins over
The-
champions, but they're all
yeah, it's
dug
been
up jobs like Povetkin, a regular champion. Pulev weren't a champion, but he's now got a regular. He's just pony, in it.
yeah,
Oh
it's
shit.
just from a name value, mate. But there's asterisks over every name that he's fought. And the asterisk normally is they're ancient. You know, Pulev, an old man, weren't he? Povetkin was an old man. Or you know, like you say, the Andy Ruiz rematch that he won, he was just a fat man who'd had his payday and you know, spent it all down the five guys. So yeah, there's an
When you
asterisk.
look at Joshua, sorry Fury, sorry for putting in Fury, right? Who's he got on his record? Steve Cunningham, an old man, right? An old
Mm,
man cruiserweight stepping up. That were a life and death. He got dropped in that. After
yeah,
Steve Cunningham, he went Joey Abel, Derek Chisora for the second time, Christian Aimer, fucking Vladimir, 40-year-old, Serapha Sarif. We just read him out. They've got Wilder and Vladimir Cunningham, and that's it. Wilder,
yeah,
Vladimir. Wilder twice, Vladimir and Cunningham on his record. Two old men and one a one-trick pony twice, 2 wins. That's it. That's
yeah.
Fury's CV. So for the fees he's had, he has had it off.
Oh, they've robbed the bank.
Considering John McDermott flogged him in 2010, absolutely flogged him. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
So he's. I know it was Fury's eighth fight, but he absolutely flogged him, John McDermott. Absolutely flogged him, mate.
Yep.
Uh, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth, really. Leaves a bad
Yeah.
taste in my mouth. But hey ho, so do you think it ever happens, Ellis?
Uh, I change my mind every time I get asked this question, but I think it will. Yeah, just for the money reasons. Yeah, I think there's too much money on the table there, innit? And the Furies don't leave money on the table. So, um, yeah, I think it will happen, mate. And we'll all be watching it, won't we? Unfortunately.
We'll all buy into it, won't we?
Yeah,
Unless we
yeah,
get a free stream.
yeah.
Okay. Uh, Crusher Ben. This whole bad man routine, not won a belt, area English, British, Commonwealth, European or world title. Keats going on about I'm stepping up from welter to super middle when really he's been a light middle 3 year and other one's been a middleweight 5.5 years. So he's only stepping up one weight.
Mm.
What do you make of him bouncing about in his white Ferrari? Him and Eddie screaming out at window, "It's on! It's on! It's on site!" If we see Eubank, I mean, these are two private school educated brats going on about it's on. Let's have tear ups. And do you think it's just overkill now? I mean, we've had lie detectors, failed dope tests, eggs smashed in faces, 274-page dossiers that we've not seen. Piers Morgan, face ups, threats of slaps, 18-foot rings, rehydration clauses, there's no world title. And now we've got Fat Man, Billy Joe Saunders, in his white fleece jacket. Looks like a snowman, Frosty the Snowman, walking around in a white fleece jacket, saying that he's
Yeah.
going to check Eubank's gloves. What do you make of this circus?
Yeah, that's the word, isn't it? Circus. They're ticking every single box and they're covering all aspects, aren't they? They're throwing everything in and everything at it to try and get that upside, like you say, get every seat sold out, which it probably isn't, is it? Trying to get those last minute ticket buys, and Ben and Newbank are all about getting their pay per view upside, aren't they? So it's to be fair, it's been well manufactured. It's been the production team, well done to them. Uh, we all know Conor Ben is he's not a road man. He's not. I don't know. It's like he's been watching too much Rise of the Foot Soldier or something, isn't it? He's trying to be like, yeah, I'm going to do this, bruv. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. It's like you're not about that life. You're not from that background. You're a privately educated guy. Yeah, you've gone down the route of boxing, but I think it's partly down to having a chip on the shoulder because of who his dad is. That goes for both of the guys, to be honest with you, and they want to prove something as their own man, but it's farcical, in it? All this on-site stuff, and yeah, throwing the Billy Joe Saunders in there. That's just what's he? What is all that about, eh?
What do you make of Billy Joe Saunders coming
What do
back?
I make of him?
He's 4 year out of the ring.
Yeah. What I make of him? Look, I'm one of these people. I look at boxing impartially. I don't have boxing idols or put them on pedestals or anything like that because I feel like at the end of the day they don't care if you live or die. They don't care about me. So, but I can look at them from a boxing point of view. And he was a talented, good boxer. He had skills, didn't he? And he was probably wasted talent because he was too busy getting big and fat outside the camps. But as a character, I think he carries himself pretty disgustingly, really. He's not got the most gleaming past. He don't come across educated. He comes across a bit thick to me. Um, and yeah, since his retirement payday off Canelo, he's sort of mentioned comebacks, but he's out of shape. He's a has been now. He doesn't need to be on the scene, does he? And he's sort of dining out on his hatred for Eubank. It's like, well, let it go, mate. Eubank's probably earned more than he did in his career, and he's not even a world champion, so it probably eats away at him, doesn't it? But yeah, he doesn't need anything to do with this fight. He needs to be back home and in retirement, stay retired, Billy Joe.
Well, 4 year out of the ring, right?
He's
And,
finished.
and and they're trying to give him a bit of a role to play in this to big up a fight with him and Eubank. If Eubank beats Ben, he'll say Billy Joe's next. If he loses, there's always the Billy Joe fight there. They can say they've got intense beef and unfinished business and that. But wheeling him out after 4 years. And even if they make the fight, he won't be ready till Christmas. He'll want a tick over fight, won't he?
He ain't making super middle, is he? Well, not within 12 months, he isn't. Maybe,
No, he's fat as a pig, Michelin man. Have you seen his face on him?
yeah, yeah. He's ballooned up massively, hasn't he?
And
Yeah.
why's he always got a big beard as well, him?
Don't know, mate. I'm not really interested in Billy Joe. Like I say, he was a talented fighter. I can look at things impartially. He was a good boxer. Was he really elite? He sort of had them WBO belts, didn't he? That he were kind of given, really. I don't think he would have hung with Triple G. That goes without saying. And obviously, he didn't with Canelo. It was a step too far. But it was a good, capable boxer, wasn't he? But yeah, like I say, his character leaves a lot to be imagined, doesn't it? It's yeah,
Leaves a
don't cover
lot to be
himself in glory.
imagined.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell, what? Leaves
Mm.
a lot to be imagined. Oh my God. I mean, who'd train him anyway? Would it be boxer size Ben Davidson? Would they bowl him out? One of these trainers that we can't get off YouTube.
Well, he were always best with Tibbs, weren't he? I thought he was good with him. That's when he sort of looked like he had some promise, Billy Joe. But again, it's his outside the ring antics that let him down, and yeah, he didn't really hit them heights. Even though he'll go down in history as a 2-weight world champion, won't he?
Two-weight world champion that they were gifts basically, them belts, though, weren't they? Andy Lee and then that
Yeah.
some guy whose name I can't even pronounce.
No, no one can remember it, can they?
Eh?
The no one can remember the other belt he won. The guy he beat.
Eh? Unbelievable, mate, isn't it? Unbelievable, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
Okay. I want to ask you who you've got on the night. Eubank or Ben? Who have you got, Ellis?
I've got Eubank, mate. Yeah, I've talked myself into it. It's like I say, I try and look at things impartially. I haven't really got a horse in the race as such, but I I'm liking what Eubank's doing, and I think he has to do it for the integrity of the sport. But just looking at it from an analytical point of view, uh, the more recent Eubank, he doesn't do all that a million uppercuts that he used to do when he first came on the scene. He actually boxes behind the jab. He moves. He's quite slippery, and like I say, I think Conor Ben's style is that flat track bully Mike Tyson imitation, and it looks good on the pads, but he's a small man, isn't he? And I think once
Mhm.
Eubank finds his time and starts popping that jab on the end of Conor Ben's nose, I think he's going to be thinking, oh, well, what do I do here? The pads don't hit me back. You know what I mean? One of them kind of ones where they're just too big, too strong, and I think he'll just wear him away. And I think the fight won't see the final bell. I think he'll get him out of there. Will Eubank? Yeah,
Yeah, I think that Eubank stops him personally. We have
yeah.
weight divisions for a reason. Fighters are not superheroes. If they were, Nazim Hamid had fought Lennox Lewis, won he, when they were both pound for pound.
Yeah, so I wanted to bring this up actually, not the Lennox Lewis thing, but you've got Senior, haven't you? He's a bit of a Marmite character, and sometimes I like him, sometimes I don't. I think yeah, he's a bit of a nut job, isn't he? But he goes on about this. The fight won't happen and it's murder and they're going to kill my son and all this and that and weight divisions are for a reason. Hang on a second, Chris Eubank, aren't you a career middleweight slash super middleweight and your last two fights were at what, cruiserweight?
Yeah, but it
So
was
what? So
13 stone 8 then, wasn't it?
yeah, so what? Was he sent to the lion's den? Was he killing himself then? You know what I mean? It just comes from a bit of a hypocritical standpoint, that doesn't it? And it's I don't know. I feel like he's on the outside looking in as Senior, and he's a bit. You can tell there's a little bit of resentment and bitterness. That, to be honest with you, Chris Eubank Jr. is probably getting a bigger payday from this than any of Eubank Senior's fights, isn't he? Let's be honest.
Well,
And
he's
it
not
probably
getting a
kills him.
slice of the cake, is he? So he's going to rebel, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
You
But
know,
no,
and
yeah,
Nigel Benn, I can assure you, he'll have his snout in the trough, in his son's trough.
yeah, for sure, for
Do you know
sure.
what I mean?
Yeah, everyone's eating off this event, aren't they?
They're trying to get on Netflix, and he's trying to be his dad, driving around in the cars, giving it the big un. And when he gets flogged tomorrow night, he'll be like, setbacks paved the way for comebacks, and even Ali got beat. And he'll bring me back, and we're going back to welterweight. I'm not a middle, I was stepping up. I rolled the dice, dare to be great.
Yeah,
Watch it
yeah.
unfold.
All them cliches. I dared to be great against someone who's
And if
not
it
holding
goes
a
to
belt.
points and he gets beat comfortably, they're going to say, nah, could have gone either way. A lot of swing rounds in there. Depends what you're looking for, and I want a rematch.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
watch it unfold. But Ben's playing the villain, and Blank's playing the goodie, innit? Goodies and baddies.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And everybody's bought into it. It's an absolute car crash of a show. But I look at it like this. If Crusher Ben wins, where does it leave boxing?
Oh, it leaves such a bad taste in your mouth, doesn't it? That the thought of that. He can't win. He can't win for the sake of boxing. But yeah, they'll all be winners because they'll all have lined their pockets, won't they? But like you say, that formula is undefeated, isn't it? There's got to be a good guy and there's got to be a bad guy, and that always sells. If it's two good guys, it's boring. If it's two bad guys, it's off-putting and no one wants to watch it. So I think they've nailed that with Eubank taking the high ground, and I think people have got behind him, haven't they? And a lot of people will be tuning in to see Conor Ben get beat, being the drug cheat. But yeah, if he wins, to answer your question, it just brings the sport down, doesn't it? It'd be a crying shame. So let's hope that doesn't happen, Russ.
Well, Simon Jordan's been sticking it to him, but it's a bit late in day now, considering he was noshing Ben off in what it's Savoy Hotel. Didn't they go for cucumber sandwiches and a cup of tea?
Yeah, yeah,
And he
yeah.
said he
Simon
thought he were
Jordan.
innocent. He thought he were innocent after speaking to him. But now he's saying he wants to see the findings. Well, why aren't Chris Eubank asked about the findings? He's asked everything else. Let's see the findings published because he's not being exonerated. Not while it clearly states in the rules of border control adverse findings. You are responsible for anything in your system. That's the border control rules. So why is Crusher Ben not responsible for something in his system? What he spiked? Or did he take some unknowingly? If he did, was he not watching what he was drinking or eating? Because you're supposed to be vigilant all year round. It clearly states, and the WBC state that with their clean testing program, but they cleared him. We aren't even a proper hearing.
Yeah, yeah. It's yeah, it is mind-boggling. It's the explanation isn't there. It's just come. He's just sort of gone into obscurity. He says he spent all this £1 million and whatever, and he's got this dossier, and he's come back on the scene and said, "I'm cleared," and tried to pull the wool over the public's eyes. And it's like, I'm not being funny, mate. Cleared from what? How are you cleared? Tell us how it got in your system and what was it doing in your system. But yeah, we know that's never gonna come out, and they're just gonna carry on trying to blindly persuade us that he's a clean fighter now, and he always has been because it wasn't his fault. Yeah, it's a story we've heard before, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. What do you think of the Spurs, or should I say Tottenham Hotspur website tickets? 59 quid tickets are now 27 quid. Thousands of
Mm.
them left. What do you make of that? But didn't they say, didn't we've heard various numbers from Frank Smith, the guard Eddie Hearn, from 120 to 140 to 240,000 queuing to get all these tickets, but the 59 quids are 27 quid. What do you think to that? And the 59 quid ticket ones were even dearer 2 months ago. What do you think?
Yeah, that's why they're doing all this every circus act possible, aren't they, to try and get the tickets sold? But they've tried to ram it down our throats that it's the biggest fight in Britain. But if I'm being completely honest with you, if I went into my work tomorrow and I said, because they're not a lot of people who are into boxing, it's a bit of a niche sport in itself, and I said Conor Ben, you'd be lucky if anyone really knew who he was. He's not really. He's not that much of a household name, is he? It's not. We're not talking about AJ versus Fury here, are we? My wife certainly wouldn't know who Conor Benn is. So this biggest fight in Britain, and again, it's not a world title fight, is it? It's I think they're hedging their bets, aren't they, that it's going to sell out? And I think with a couple of with a day to go, I don't think it is sold out. To be honest with you, Russ, I don't.
Don't you?
No, I don't think it is.
Oh no, we know it isn't sold out. I'm just saying, don't have you actually checked? Because if you go onto the website, you will see that it is not
No.
sold out, mate.
Well, I was in the Navy, Russ. I was in the Navy for 10 years, and they have this website called Tickets for Troops. And with boxing events, I've been to quite a few for free, actually, just because when there's like surplus tickets, they give them away. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's about a few thousand on Tickets for Troops right now. Just because they like to fill the house, don't they, and say it's a sellout. But what they don't tell you is quite a lot of them are getting given away to things like that. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
We will see. But do you think that they'll have a rematch?
Uh, I don't know. He's getting on now, isn't he, Eubank? I think if there's any controversy whatsoever, then yeah, of course there will, because it's money. But um, I want to see Eubank spark him out, be done with it, and move on. But yeah, it's yeah, don't even use the R word. I think it's rematch room. We'll definitely have a rematch clause in there, and the writing's on the wall, isn't it? Yeah, we're talking. You're convincing me now. There probably will be a rematch, won't there?
Of course they will. They won't be able to help themselves, that lot, will
Yeah.
they? Let's have it right. Come on, we're not behind door here. We know what's going on here, don't we?
Mm,
Hey,
mm. Yeah, no, we're not stupid. It's all for money, and it's all a big act, and they're all in on it, and they're all getting paid handsomely while we pay the bills. So yeah,
okay.
fair play to them.
You want to go on to part two, Ellis, lad?
Yeah, we'll do, mate. We'll
All right,
do.
I'll see you on part two, lad.
All right, see you there.
Yeah. Thanks for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment. Please join us on part two, which is going to be absolutely explosive. So get your popcorn ready.